it's me, Renee. I'm back. So today I'm here with my April wrap-up. I've seen some people do it like early this week, but I feel like April's not over yet. I suppose maybe you won't be reading that much more, but like I knew I was finishing some stuff, so I decided to do it now because now it's May, so it's perfect. At least for me. But yeah, May wasn't too bad a reading month for me really. It was good. I had some DNFs, and then there were some books that started good and then disappointed me. So yeah, that's not cool. Actually read quite a lot, few. What's a lot and what's a few? Well, I think maybe I read maybe half of them were audiobooks. Yeah, around that actually. Half of them were audiobooks. So as usual, I'll just link them in a doobly because I don't really have a picture of them. I don't really have any of them in to show you. Well, the one, some of them. But yeah, let's get to the ones that I can show you. So I could just start with DNFs. Sadly, All the Fields by Nikki Stone. It's a fandom book based on fandom. Wasn't all that into it, so yeah, I DNF'd it. I think I got like halfway through, so it's not like I gave up on it very soon. Like I always try to give stuff a chance, but like if I don't like books halfway through, then I'm not really gonna read all of it. Well, I suppose it depends, but like this one, I wasn't feeling it at all. There was like no aspects that I enjoyed. So yeah, just gonna use my time on stuff really. So that one was a no for me. Then I also read Becoming Jin by Laurie Goldstein. I have a feeling I talked about this earlier on my channel, like wrap this up, but I just checked and I didn't. So, and if it turns out I did, I'm sorry. But yeah, this book has been on my TBR for quite a long time, and I found it in February in London. So I thought, oh, now I found you. Okay, I'm gonna buy you. Yeah, so I was very excited to read this one. Sadly, it wasn't all that good. It was fine. It was, I don't know, a book. I don't really have that much to say about it. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't very interesting really. I'm thinking that I might have liked it more if I was like 14, 15, because it's not really that mature or that interesting, but like if I was in that age range, maybe I'll enjoy it much more. But yeah, as it is, I didn't. It wasn't hooked. It was just meh for me. So yeah, that one's going to charity as well. Then lastly, I have Palace for Spies by Sarah Settle. So this one I've also been anticipating for quite some time. I've I'm getting these. I feel like I talked about this before, but I just checked. It's a mystery. Anyway, I'll just double talk about it then. It's not a crime to talk about something twice, is it now? No, it's not. But yeah, this book, it's historical, it's mystery, and it's been recommended by people lots of places. So I'm quite interested to get to it quite some time. I got it for Christmas, yeah, this last Christmas, and then I started this in April. Why it's in here in this video, and yeah, DNF'd it. Oh, sorry. No, sorry. I'm being a bit soon here. Actually, didn't DNF it, but I actually kind of skimmed most of it. So I didn't completely DNF it, but I kind of DNF'd it, I suppose, in a way. Like, mentally, I DNF'd it. But I did finish all it. A lot of it I skimmed, and yeah. Like, I liked the concept of it, but like how it's executed was kind of like, this is it? That's it? Like, I kind of expected more, like, more intensity, more suspense, more romance, more everything, really. And the way it was just, I didn't really care. Like, at the end, spoiler-ish, at the end, the main character is in a dire situation. She's being threatened by a bad guy, and I didn't care at all. I didn't care. I was just like, kill her, don't kill her, see if I care. So, yeah, sadly, this one is not for me either. Sadly. But that's just the state of it, really. So, yeah, those are then going to charity shops, because even if I don't like it, some people, other people might like it. So, yeah. The last book I actually read in April was this one. Here, The Blue Dragons by James A. Owen. So I didn't know about it before in February or something when I saw it on Daniel Green's channel, and I just loved the cover, and I thought the title sounds so cool, and I thought like, oh, it sounds so cool. It actually wasn't that really. I didn't really ever check that much about it. I just thought like it just sounds so cool. I have to buy it. And yeah, I got it. I started reading it, and I was kind of maybe I'll listen to it on audio because I got it on audio as well. And then I realized like on audio it was like it was so good narrated. I just kind of ended up listening to all like on audio. And honestly, kind of because of how the book is, I kind of think I would DNF'd it if I just read it on the paper because it was good now and then, but like it sounded good and interesting. But then it's kind of after a while, it's just like okay, so that's happening. I just started to lose interest. It lost interest for me. It just wasn't that interesting in the end, really. Like in the last 2 hours of the audiobook, which probably was the last like 50 or 100 pages maybe of the book, I just like it was the climax. But it was just like I don't care. So I was just kind of listening with one ear, and the other ear I was just doing other stuff, and I wasn't that interested anymore. I wasn't that invested anymore. So yeah, that's kind of sad. It is a very, as you see, very beautiful cover. At least I think so. But probably I'm going to give it to charity because I don't think I will read it again. I'm thinking I might listen to the rest of the series on audiobook because, as I said, the audiobook was very good or very decent and very good. But the story in itself wasn't that interesting. Like I think what made it there like a top notch better for me was that the audiobook like you could listen to different accents and it was very good done. But like if you read it, you won't really read it in accents, even though they say like he's Scottish, he's English, and etc. etc. It's kind of better when you listen to it. So yeah. And also this book I kind of want to talk a bit more about it because it kind of baffled me because it's been described as middle grade. I suppose in a way I could understand it because there's no sex in it, there's no swearing in it, but there's violence, and none of the characters are uh, like in their teens. Like I suppose one is 18, 19. It's never really established how old the characters are, but one is supposed to start Oxford soon. So I'm supposing he's around 16. No, so sorry, 17, 18, 19 maybe. So he's not middle grade at all, middle grade age at all. Like that's supposed to be 9, 10, 11, 12. And yeah, um, and also they talked quite a lot about killing people, and not in self-defense. Like, oh my god, this is dark. But on the same time, a character in this book he wanted to use blueberry muffins as a weapon. So it was on the one hand it was very whimsical, but on the other hand it was just so dark. So it just kind of felt like it was two books in one really because the tones were so different, so off. Like I understand like that some books they are both like dire situation, you need to have climax and stuff, but like you can't have it dark, 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 and then 2 chapters later just have it so funny because I suppose you can, but like anyway, for me it just didn't work. It just kind of felt off. Just kind of it didn't really work. And also, there were literally no female characters in this. Well, sorry, no. And there were 2 female characters in this and one off page. So maybe like 4, but like they didn't really have that much to do in this series or in this book. I don't know about the series, and that kind of disappointed me. And I suppose that's kind of bad. Well, it's kind of bad. It is bad. On the other side, there was one cool scene where you have a dragon who the protagonist, there's like a group of cast who are protagonists, and with the protagonist, they go on a quest. And when they meet a dragon, and the dragon tells them, "You have a choice: either kill you or you have tea with me." And I said, "The people before you have chosen to die." Like, why would they choose to die? And you kind of know it has to be like in some way. You kind of know it's what happened because are all everywhere around them. They see bodies. So you see people have been there before, but they're not alive anymore. So it's like, is there like some very, very teenagers who's been here before? Like, what? But then, of course, you have fun scene with like this knowledgeable dragon who's just nice and wisdom, and he just drank tea with them, and that was very cool. I really liked that scene. That's like scenes. Some scenes there were very cool, and some were like, I'm not that interested. So yeah. Again, I suppose I might have loved this if I were younger, I think. But as it is now, it was good. And yeah, that's that really. So sadly, I was disappointed with this one. I think I had too high expectations for this one. But yeah, there's Rat Queens, Demons. It's volume 3. I finished this one actually also just a few days ago. I tried to read it a few days ago, wasn't in the mood, and then read it again. And yeah, Rat Queens. It's kind of interesting. I read the first book in December. First comic book. Doesn't really matter. And I loved the first one. And then I just kind of think like, oh, I need the rest of the series. I just checked it on Google. Oh, there's so many books in the series. Yes, so cool. And then I went to the store a few weeks later and bought like 4 or 5 more. And then I read volume 2 in March. I think March. It wasn't that good as the first book, and this one, yet again, is kind of disappointed me. So yeah, I do already own the number 4, so I will read that one as well. But if I'll buy any more, I'm not sure. I'm thinking I might just be like grown out of it, because well, I suppose, can you grow out something that you just started reading? I don't know. People, if you any of you read the series Rat Queens, does volume 5, 6, 7 get any better than 4 and 3, or 3 and 2? Please tell me, because I mean I still like the characters, but like the plot is just like, I'm not really that interested in this plot. Like, I love the plot of the first one, but the second two, I wasn't that interested. Wasn't that fun and funny, or yeah, it just wasn't really. So sadly, that's that really. I didn't finish it, but yeah, it was disappointment for me. Like, this one also had like some fun aspects to it. Like, it wasn't all awful, but more or less it was just not very good. No, not very good. And then we have Charlie Turns into a Mammoth by Sam Copeland. I'm not sure if this is the last in the series. It's a third in the series anyway. It seems like it's the last. It doesn't say on the back, so I'm not quite sure. But it could be the last one. But yeah, honestly, I kind of feel like this one just kind of was also another like book. Like, it had some aspects of it was good, of course. But of course, it's not of course like. I suppose most books have some good lines and aspects, but some books are just awful all over. But like, yeah, this one had some good, cool aspects to it, but more or less it wasn't that fun. Like, I ended up skimming it. I really liked the first and second one, both because of the characters, but also because of the plot it had. But like, the plot in this one, it just, I don't know. I kind of felt like this series could have been better as duology. Oh, anyway, yeah, I didn't really like this one, sadly. So yeah, I did I did laugh a bit during some parts of it, so that's good. But I liked the first and second one much more. Next we have Lobsters by Tom Allen and Lucy Wilson. So I read some books by Tom Allen before, and that's why I chose to pick this one up. It's been described. Well, this one is described as a socially awkward love story, and I was really into that. And it's actually kind of fun. It's about these two teens who both want to lose their virginity, and they end up losing it to each other. They like start at the beginning. They don't know each other, then they fate interviews and stuff. And yeah, I would say like it's not very funny. It's like ha ha ha. It's not like I'm losing my breath from laughing, but it's still enjoyable and good. The parts were like, really, really, this is happening. Like parts were that's believable. Would say in some ways, and parts of it wasn't really that interesting to me. But all in all, it was good. It wasn't awful. It wasn't awful. I enjoyed it. It wasn't awful. So yeah, yeah. Diary of a Bookseller. I started reading this one uh, in like on paper, and then I ended up listening to it mostly on audiobook. It's very nice on audiobook. It was very good and interesting. And yeah, this book has been described. It's been recommended. It's been described both as non-fiction and fiction. I'm thinking it's mostly non-fiction, but suppose might have slightly parts of non-fiction. I'm not sure because like the books that I worked in, we had this one in Norwegian shelved in the fiction section, but I'm pretty sure it's memoir. But maybe some of the days is like he makes stuff more up than it's so true. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's also been described as a very funny book. I wouldn't say it was very funny. Like if you want a book about bookstores, I think you can find a better book. Like for example, the bookshop book. I think I enjoyed that one more really. And yeah, this one was interesting, but it was like so funny, so enjoyable. It was interesting. It was nice to read it. And yeah, there's a sequel to it, and probably will read the sequel as well. But all in all, this one it didn't impress me, but I didn't hate it. But I've read better books, so yeah, slightly disappointed. But there had been other books this month that I enjoyed less, so it wasn't awful. It wasn't so bad really. And it's got a very nice cover to it, isn't it? Isn't it? So yeah. And then we have long so- long songs, love songs for skeptics by Christina Pischi. As you might see, it's the Norwegian edition. Kjærlighetssanger for skeptikere. So it's one of those times where the title is just directly translated. So it's kind of fun. I think it's interesting with titles really. Like sometimes it's just completely different, and sometimes it's very similar. And it's interesting to see like how people decide what to call them and stuff. But yeah, this book was actually very good. It pleasantly surprised me. It was so good. It's been described as perfect for fans of Bridget Jones, and I would really agree. Like often, if they say like those perfect for fans of Hunger Games or etc., like it's often like, is it? I don't really see it. I don't really understand it. No comparison, but here I really understand it. Because the protagonist is dualist. This is Bridget Jones. Protagonist is without a love life or without a stable love life. I would say. And she has got the same kind of humor, so that's very nice. She doesn't have weight issues, but still, and yeah, it's a very entertaining and good story, really. And there's nice love story in it. There's several different love interests, and there's some cool, well, quite a few really references to music in it because it's set in a music journalism industry, so that's really cool. And yeah, I really recommend this one if you want to read an adult chick lit story, really. What's the difference, really, between chick lit, and romance? Is there really. How do you define the definition there? Or, like, one's fiction and romance? What's different? What's the definition? What's the difference there? I'm not sure. Also, I'm not sure why I ask you because people never comment and say what they think. But maybe they do if I try to talk with you more directly. I don't know. But yeah, so that's that one. That's actually the last one that's physical. And then other than that one, I read or listened to an audiobook. Read, listened to. I suppose you can say read, you can say listen. It's one of those places where you can say both really. But yeah, audiobooks. I actually ended up listening to all of Heather Welsh by Meg Cabot. It's a adult chocolate ghost mystery series. I'm not sure what to say. I think it was called ghost mystery, like on Goodreads. I'm not quite sure I'll call it that myself because, like, to me at least, how I've understood the definition is that ghost mystery is like mysteries with not much blood, and there's more mystery than like uh, gore and stuff. And in the second book in Heather Welsh, they find like the reason they know someone's dead is because they find the head in like decapitated, and they just find the head, and it goes days before they find anything else of the body. So yeah, I wouldn't really say that's that cozy really, but who knows really. But yeah, I did all of them on audiobooks. There's 5 books in a series. The first 3 I've already read before, and I hadn't read the last 2 because actually this is kind of fun. Well, I think at least fun thing where the first 3 books came out like from 2007 to like 2010 or something, and then the second 2 came out in 2013 and 14. So there was like a big gap in there. And yeah, I just kind of never gotten around to finishing the series. And I thought like, oh, it's an audiobook. Let's binge it. It's kind of in the mood to binge it. And yeah, and also this series is like one of those like I knew was funny, so like worked perfectly for my theme. In case you didn't know, my theme for April was like funny books, haha, because of April Fools. Not all the books, as I said, I read. I talked about earlier were that funny, but they were in different variations, different levels. But yeah, so yeah, I finished that series. Those 5 books. I listened to sorry, Lady Rook by Jenna Bennett. Sorry, I actually started that one in March, but I finished it in April. So yeah, and I always forgot remembered. Didn't talk about one book. I want to talk about all books. But yeah, so yeah, the Lady Rook by Jenna Bennett. It started good. Okay, if you know what it is, not necessarily know what it's about. It's kind of like a female Indiana Jones and just a teen. It's set in the 1930s, and it's a 17-year-old, 18-year-old. Not quite, I think she's 17. Yeah, 17. And she's in Turkey. She's trying to, and she's having to deal with her annoying tutor, and that's just all those kinds of mess. Her dad is an archaeologist, and he's digging for artifacts and stuff. And of course, there's prophecies, there's magical items, etc., etc. But it had like a really cool love story in it, I would say. But like the mystery in it was like good, but okay. So Jen Bennett is mostly known for writing contemporary, and I would say I like all her contemporary more than this one is her historical book. Though I did enjoy it, but like okay, I liked the beginning of it, and then I kind of felt like okay, is it suddenly the halfway point? Like honestly, like if I had to go sit down and write down what exactly happened in the book, it would just be like 3 things really. Not that much happened in it. So it's kind of like they're okay. Some people are after them in one city. They flee to another city. Some people are after them there. They flee to another city, and they flee to another city, and then they get kidnapped, and then they get saved, or they save themselves. It's not that really. I kind of feel like more wanted to happen really, and I kind of wanted more intensity, more meetings with the villain, and more stuff. Really, like I liked what it was, but I kind of just want more. Though interestingly enough, I kind of felt like it would have been very nice as a TV series or movie, like adapted. I think it could be done very good, very good. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I was slightly disappointed by it, sadly. So yeah, that are 2 of the audiobooks. Let me check out more because there's more. What? That's just annoying. yeah, and then I also end up listening to Stolen Time and Twisted Fates by Daniel Rollins. I really enjoyed Stolen Time. Oh, really enjoyed. Yeah, I would say really enjoyed it. They're both time travel books, which is my kryptonite. And I liked it more or less. Like the first one, I really enjoyed. The second one, honestly, the second one wasn't that interesting. I just skimmed lots of it because nothing happened in it. Really, nothing happened. Like I would say, like most of it was like summary of what happened in the first book. Nothing really happened in the second book. It was just no character development, more or less, and no plot points happened. Like some stuff happened, yeah. It was like nothing happened, but like more or less nothing. So it's just, yeah. Luckily, it's one of those series where it's a trilogy, so yeah, it was just hit bad with second book syndrome. So hopefully the last book will be better again. But yeah, but also like parts of the first book was like, this is dark. I'm not sure if I like this. Though second parts of the second book was like, okay, kind of like it because that happened now. But yeah, yeah. I have really mixed feelings about it, but the second one anyway, I don't like at all, more or less. It was just bad. Just bad. So, other books that finished. I've talked about that one. Let me see. Yeah, I also listened to A Prince on Paper by Alyssa Cole. It's the third one in her Reluctant Royals series. It's the one where you have where you have the words Johan and Johan, as it's called in the book. It just feels so wrong to my Norwegian ears because I say Johan, but they say Johan. But yeah, and then there's Naya. So Naya is she's from the royal family in. I'm just gonna have to double check it. Royal family in Naya is from the royal family in Tesoro, and Johan is from Lichtenberg, which they're both invented cities or places, but they both like seem to be based on stuff. So like Lichtenberg is quite probably like based on Luxembourg, not Luxembourg. There's Liechtenstein and like those places in Central Europe. So like that, it's a country where they have French and German as official languages, and they have their official languages like mixed of those two, and yeah, it's kind of fun for me because like even though yeah, Norwegian is not German, although some stuff is similar, so it's kind of interesting. Like sometimes he swore, I'm like, oh, that sounds Norwegian, kind of cool. But yeah, honestly though, this book it was good, but I can't say I loved it really. Like I okay, I like both the characters and I liked the setting and stuff, but I don't know. I just kind of felt like the romance wasn't well. Romance was good. I'm not really sure what I'm missing, but yeah, I didn't highly enjoy it really. It was just yeah, good. It was good. Wasn't awful. Wasn't amazing. It was good. I gave it 3.5 stars, I think, on Goodreads, and yeah. So yeah, I listened to that one as well, and then during this month, and yeah, that one is still very funny, or at parts. All of those books, I would say, Alyssa Cole's books are funny in um moments. So yeah, if you want something funny, you need to check her out really. Uh, let's check it out. Stuff. Yeah, yeah. In a moment. And yeah, I also listened to The Gentleman's Guide to Getting Lucky by Mackenzie Lee. It's a short story in the Montague Siblings series, and it's just like 2 hours, but it's still very enjoying. And yeah, that one is very funny. So yeah, I would say like some books like the intro were very funny. So like I wasn't I wasn't like I wasn't too left down by books choice I decided to read. Like some books were like highly enjoyable, highly funny. So it wasn't all bad month really. And I read Summit Solution by G.L. Carriger. I wanted to read this in March and in February didn't get to it, but got to it this month. Well, last month. And yeah, this one was very funny. Because it's a Gail Carriger book. It's pen name, but it's Gail Carriger. Uh, though this one was actually like I would say like this one like her other books are like often more action, more stuff happens. This one actually I would say like it's kind of more sex and some stuff happen. It's sex, flirting, action. That's kind of more or less what I would define it as. And so yeah, if you really love lots of sex scenes, try this one out. Honestly, for me, like I think sex scenes is fine, but like for me, I think I like better like how a little Cole is doing it, where like there are sex scenes, but there are lots of other scenes as well. And this one, yeah, kind of maybe was too many sex scenes for me. Though I still really enjoy the book, and pretty sure I'm pretty sure I'll continue with the series. But yeah, didn't love it, but I didn't hate it either. It was enjoyable read, enjoyable. Didn't love it, but it was enjoyable, fun read. It wasn't bad. And yeah, so half an hour while wrapping up, as I do really. I did plan to. Okay, it's been half an hour. Should I? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna end this whole shebang with one thing. So I talked about this earlier. Haven't done it. And yeah, I've done some. Oh, okay, I can just moment first. It's so annoying. That's one. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'll just before I do that, I'm just gonna wrap up this stuff. I also sorry, I also did a Dewey readathon, and it was last week. And the last week was last week. I'll link the wrap up for that one in the doobly-doo because I don't want to talk about those books again. I suppose I could do, but yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, and now for this fun little tidbit. Fun depends, but I think it's fun. I'm gonna do it. Um, sorry. So in actually 2 videos now so far, I've done quizzes and I'll film them and post them, and I've had some reaction to them. But people seem to think they're fine. I haven't really had that many views to them, but I enjoy doing the videos, so I don't really care. But yeah, there's this quiz that BuzzFeed has with lots of different stuff. So like it's kind of like famous thingy where um the concept is that you're supposed to name name as many characters around one thing in 2 minutes. So you have like name as many Disney characters, as many Marvel characters, etc., etc. And this one is sorry. So it's called I bet you can't name 14 of these 72 characters from Gilmore Girls. So you have 2 minutes to name at least 14 characters in Gilmore Girls. And also the rules are type in first names only, and names not like mom, grandma, etc., etc. But like, I'm a bit curious, like, how will they like do it? Because like, there's actually 3 Lorelai, Rory, and Trixie. I suppose they probably just use Trixie, Lorelai, and Rory. Probably thinking that's that. Okay, so yeah, this probably gonna be a bit stressing, but I love Gilmore Girls, and I don't know, I feel like being stressed by Gilmore Girls now. Yeah. I feel like doing a challenge fully. And yeah, wish me good luck. One, 2, 3. What? No. So just put in Laurie, and I put Lane, and I have Lorelai. Forgot to like talk because it's better talk. Luke, and then you have Dean, Emily, and then you have Richard, and then you have Jason, and then you have Max, and then you have, oh my god, suddenly people have Paris, and then you have Suki, who has too many O's, there, Suki, Jackson, and then you have, Trixie, well, okay, so it was just Trix then, apparently? Yeah, okay, apparently. Yeah, 50 more to find. Oh my god, suddenly. Yeah, Jess. Oh no, Jess. And then you have, oh my god, that idiot's name, the against Logan. Marty. And then you have, those people, the people, Miss Patty. Okay. Yeah, okay. So just Patty, not Miss Patty. Okay. And then you have, what's the neighbor again? Neighbor. God, this is starting to get annoying. Okay, but you have, oh, okay. Time stopped. I got 17. 17 out of 72. That's more than 14. That's pretty good, really. Okay, so I forgot, okay. so they yeah, they include, like, they have, like, who I forgot in here. I forgot Andrew, Anna, April, Asher. That's probably don't just go by first letter. But yeah. Babette, Bo, Bootsy, Bradley, Brian, Caesar, Christopher, Clara, Colin, Dave, Doyle, Drella, Finn, Fran, Francie. Oh yeah, lots of them. Okay. Well, 17 out of 72. It's not too bad, really. I think it was not too bad, really. And yeah, so that's how I did with that quiz. And you know what? I'm gonna link the quiz in doobly-doo so you can check it out yourself. And yeah, I hope you have a nice weekend. And this is me saying Renee out.